It's often said that time flies when you're having fun. But on the flip side, it often passes very slowly when you're waiting for a chance to redeem yourself. It's been a little over 9 months since our Cascade Lady Cadets last played a basketball game. It was supposed to be a mere formality on the road to an easy sectional championship, and very possibly more, but it turned out to be one of the most painful losses in Cascade history. Though Cascade women's basketball has long been a winning program, last season everything lined up perfectly. The Lady Cadets had a starting lineup of 2 seniors, both of whom are now playing college basketball, and 3 juniors, all of whom have a good chance to follow suit. They tied a school record with 17 wins, and were ranked in the top 10 in Class 2A almost all season, peaking at number 5. They hosted a sectional that was otherwise comprised of teams who were young or rebuilding, and as if that weren't enough, they got a first-round bye. In their first tournament game, the Lady Cadets played South Putnam, a team without a senior starter, who Cascade beat on the road 68-46 during the regular season. However, the Lady Eagles came out swinging with a barrage of three-pointers and a blitzing defense, while Cascade looked phased and unprepared, as if they believed they could win the game simply by showing up. Rather than responding with the same aggressiveness, Cascade often settled for outside shots and missed many of the short-range shots they did take. They were also uncharacteristically sloppy with the ball, committing 21 turnovers compared to only 8 by South Putnam. And despite the Lady Cadets having an 18-inch height advantage in the starting lineup, the Lady Eagles grabbed 12 offensive rebounds. Finally, after averaging 21 steals a game over the season, Cascade got only 3 in this game, as they lost by a score of 63-52. Tonight, after thinking about that loss for 277 agonizingly long days, our Cascade Lady Cadets begin the search for redemption. Hello and welcome to Cascade High School in Clayton, Indiana. My name is Lec Zorn. I'm joined by Kollin Brunes, and we'll be bringing you all the action as your 12th-ranked Cascade Lady Cadets challenge the Indian Creek Lady Braves in the opening game of the Indiana high school basketball season. Well, Cascade enters the 2017-2018 season not only with great expectations, but also with hunger and determination to slay the demon of last year's crushing loss to South Putnam right here on our home floor in our first tournament game. We'll have to do it without our 2 starters who we lost to graduation, center Bayleigh Walker, now at Franklin College, and shooting guard Makayla Collier, now at Goshen College. That dynamic duo did nearly half of our scoring last season, combining for 29 points a game, while Walker also led the team in rebounding with 8.5 a game. But on the bright side, we do return our 3 other starters and several reserves who appear ready to make big contributions. So, Kollin, while certainly it'd be great to have Walker and Collier back, we're not returning an empty cupboard by any means. I mean, this is a team with 7 seniors that looks primed to make, another tournament run if they keep it together and stay focused.
I mean, you're exactly right, Lec. I mean, last season against Indian Creek, they won the last meeting 66-57. Bayleigh Walker ended up scoring 26 points and had 14 rebounds. Olivia Bryant was also a big spot. She had 12 points on 67% shooting. So she's going to be a really big factor tonight and throughout this season. She's a starting guard, obviously.
Yeah, that's right, And, of course, this year we have 3 of our 5 starters are the Bryant triplets. Olivia and Emilia both started last season. They will be joined tonight in the starting lineup by sister Sophia. Olivia, one of our second best returning players. She is our point guard. Last season averaged 8.1 points, a team high 3.8 assists, as well as 1.6 steals. Our leading returning scorer, Hannah Rasnake, she alternated between starting and being our 6th woman last season. She's our leading returning scorer, 10.3 points per game. She is 6 feet tall, but despite her height, she doesn't play inside a lot. She stands out on the ring and shoots a lot of three-pointers and does very well.
She had 5 points against Indian Creek last season, but she totaled 237 points on the year.
Yeah, that's right, and she hit 45 three-pointers, 39% of them. Then Emilia Bryant, our starting power forward, she only averaged 6 points, so not a lot of offense last season, although certainly she could be getting more with the Walker and Collier being gone, especially they'll certainly welcome her filling a lot of the inside points that we got from Walker last season. And but we're really counting on her the most is to pick up the lead on rebounding. She averaged 7.7 last year, second on the team. And we're also hoping that Trinity Hostetler, who replaces Walker at the starting center, will contribute heavily in that area as well. Hostetler did not play a lot last year, but the one game I commentated where she had heavy playing time was against the Cardinal Ritter loss. It's the Cardinal Ritter loss in which Walker missed about half the game with foul trouble. Trinity came in and was a really strong presence there in the middle. She averaged 3 rebounds a game in the limited action she did play. And also we're hoping that Katie Cleveland, a senior who's barely played up to now, but is 5'11", and now entering her last year with the Cadets, will also be able to give us some good backup minutes there in the middle. And at that, we are getting ready to pause for the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would ask that you please rise, kindly remove your hats, and face the flag at the west end of the gymnasium as we honor our freedoms, those who are currently protected, and those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Well, thank you to Cascade for that lovely rendition of the national anthem. And right now, we're getting ready to introduce the starting lineups here. We've got a great opening night crowd. We've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 fans here, including about 50 from Indian Creek, who made the 36-mile drive from the lovely community of Trafalgar, about 36 miles southeast of here. And I'll tell you, I was just telling you, Kollin, before the game, just like I tell a lot of people, including the Cascade fans, you know, I've commentated all over Indiana, and Cascade really is near the top of the state in fan support per capita. I mean, I've commentated much bigger schools that have much smaller crowds, especially for Tuesday night girls games. So Cascade fans are really second to none, and I'm just honored to be an honorary cadet here in Clayton. So anyway, let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for Cascade, starting at point guard, we have number 13, Olivia Bryant. She is a 5'6" senior. Last season averaged 10.3 points, as well as 8.1 points, plus a team high 3.8 assists and 1.6 steals. Also starting Hannah Rasnake. Last season averaged 10.3 points a game, third on the team. She's the leading returning scorer. She's a 6-foot senior. Then at power forward, we have Emilia Bryant, one of the 3 Bryant triplets who starts for us. She wears number 24. She's a 5'10" senior. Last season averaged 6 points and 7.7 rebounds. And then also we have in the starting lineup, Sophia Bryant. She's also a 5'9" senior. Last season played only sparingly, but they're counting on her to do a lot more this season. Last season she averaged 0.9 of a point per game. And rounding out the starting lineups is number 35, Trinity Hostetler. She is a 6-foot senior who last season averaged 0.8 of a point and 3 rebounds a game. And now now jumping, we're going to have Hostetler for, and now the tip is controlled by the Lady Cadets. They come out swinging, drive to the basket, lays it in. That was Olivia Bryant. Great way to start the season. So certainly showing right off the bat that they want to slay the demon of that South Putnam loss. So now a near steal there, and now underneath though, Indian Creek ties it very quickly. That was an easy lay-in there by Selena McElroy. So it's 2-2, and now at the other end, a missed shot there by Cascade. Indian Creek controls the rebound, drives to the basket, is up and no good. And now pass down to Emilia Bryant, who drives to the basket, then passes over to, who was that? To Emilia. Okay, that was Emilia Bryant from Sophia. So it is 4-2 with 2 of the 3 Bryant. And now a steal there by Olivia Bryant, passes up to Emilia, who lays it in. So it's 4 quick points there by the Cadets to pull up 6-2.
Bryant sisters are starting off hot here, and that's what you need from them. They're really taking over this team, and the transition point.
And now another steal there by Olivia, passes down court, but she puts too much on it and it goes out of bounds. So you love the effort, and now we've got a quick timeout there. This is one of those times when Dick Vitale would say, "Better get a TO, baby." So definitely Cascade. When you make when you induce a timeout a minute and 16 into the game, you know you're off to a good start. So Cascade has come out swinging. They're coming out really the way that South Putnam came out against Cascade in that sectional game last year, which I'm sure that these Lady Cadets have replayed in their mind many times. They want to slay that demon this year. So,
it looks like Indian Creek is just completely caught off guard by this really aggressive attack from the Cascade defense. They're getting too many turnovers, and a lot of transition points have come off of it. The Bryant sisters are really capitalizing on these opportunities, except for that one bad pass that they had, which could have turned into points. But they've really capitalized on this full court press, and now they have the press going even in the half court. And they force another turnover right there.
Yeah. So, and I'll tell you, I mentioned in the pregame show, Kollin, last year one of the worst statistics for Cascade in that South Putnam loss in the sectional. Only 3 steals the whole game. I think they already have that tonight in the first 2 minutes of this game.
Well, Cascade did average 11.4 steals per game last season. They already have plenty here tonight.
Yeah, so it's clearly you can tell they've been thinking about that loss, and they want to make sure they never make. And now we've got a foul here, first foul of the game.
It looks like it's going to be going the other direction though, in favor of Indian Creek.
But anyway, though, this is our second season covering Cascade basketball here on AudioSportsOnline.com. We're going to be bringing you just about every home game, and as well as a few select road and neutral site games. And they're nice to move to the basket, but no good on the short bank shot there by McElroy. And now on the other end, we got a jump shot, no good. McElroy the rebound. McElroy, she's 5'10". She's actually 5'10" vertically and horizontally, a very big girl. And now three-pointer there off the back of the rim, no good. And rebound controlled by Indian Creek. Three-pointer now no good by Hannah Grider. And it's put back up and in by McElroy. She has all 4 points for Indian Creek. They cut the lead to 6-4, 5:26 to go here in the first quarter. Season opening game Clayton.
Talked about offensive rebounds being a problem that Cascade's given up too many. They gave up a lot on that one possession right there, and Indian Creek was able to capitalize, but now they get a wide open 3, and it's good.
Yes, so now Sophia Bryant. So the Bryant triplets accounting for all 9 of our points. And now as loose ball controlled there by Emilia Bryant, passes down court. Now Emilia gets it back, and it's knocked out of bounds to Cascade.
Very good transition movement right there by Cascade.
So we got 3 Bryants on the team, and each of them have scored an average of 3 points apiece.
Now we got 35 Trinity Hostetler coming out of the game.
I hope to meet the Bryant family this year. They must be proud of these 3 girls. And now inside, and now the bank shot no good. I think she just tried to put up in a little too much of a hurry. So now on the other end, fakes the 3, pisses over 3 from McElroy, no good off the front of the rim. Indian Creek controls the rebound, puts it back up. No good, and it's knocked out of bounds to Cascade.
Well, that time they gave up a couple of offensive rebounds right there, but that out of bounds really saved them, gave Cascade the possession.
Now, so far, Indian Creek enters the game with a record of 0-2. Last Friday, they lost a close one at Tri-West, and now a layup no good there by Cascade. Indian Creek pulls away the rebound. Now a drive to the basket, a layup no good there by Katie Berkman, and the ball goes out of bounds to Cascade. But Indian Creek opened the season last Friday here in Hendricks County at Tri-West, lost 61-58. Tri-West has a pretty good program, so that's no shame in that loss. Then they went on the road to Martinsville on Saturday, lost 61-44. Martinsville's the number 8 ranked team in Class 4A, and they have Purdue commit Kayana Traylor, who looks like she might be in the WNBA in a few years. She's an outstanding player. So now, drive to the basket there by Sophia Bryant. Trying to draw the foul, and it goes out of bounds to Indian Creek. Still a 9-4 lead for Cascade. Indian Creek, a very good program. They've 11-13 last year in a rebuilding season, but they have won 3 sectionals in the last 7 years and really established themselves as one of the top Class 3A programs in the state.
Very good block there inside by the Cascade defense. They averaged 3 blocks per game last year. Now Indian Creek gets a wide open inbound pass.
So nice layup there, just no good. And I'll tell you, and now a jump ball possession arrow. We cannot see. Oh, the possession arrow favors Indian Creek. Yes, I can see. I can fleetingly see it from here. Yeah.
Boy, Cascade is just giving up way too many offensive rebounds to this point. They're not boxing out.
Oh, and now there's a heavy contact there. Olivia made aggressively went after the steal and collided with Addie Rund, who's the top scorer. She's the only double-figure scorer for Indian Creek, averaging 16.5 points through their first 2 games. The only other Lady Brave who's close is McElroy coming in with 9.5, and she just puts one in there after spun around the rim a couple of times. McElroy with all 6 Indian Creek points. She's keeping them in the game. It's 9-6 now. Olivia Bryant with the ball in the other. And now a wide-open three-pointer is good.
Very deep.
That was Hannah Rasnake. The 3 returning starters, Rasnake, Olivia Bryant, and Emilia Bryant, each with a chance to play college basketball, and each trying to raise their stock this year. And now wow, 3 chances, and now finally on the third one, McElroy is fouled. So yeah, I'll tell you, in most ways, Cascade has played pretty well so far, but the one way in which they are getting outplayed is in offensive rebounding. And now McElroy goes to the free throw line. She has all 6 Brave points, make it 7. She's keeping them in the game. One good thing about Cascade, in the first 5 minutes of the game, 4 of the 5 starters have already scored. But yeah, those 3 returning senior starters all trying to raise their college stock. As McElroy hits the second one, she has 8.
Well, you said it perfectly, Lec. I mean, offensive rebounds are really killing the Cadets. I mean, their transition offense has been really good, but their defense, nobody's boxing out on shooters, and McElroy's just having a field day down there in the paint, getting these offensive rebounds.
Yeah, I will say another thing about Indian Creek. They're taking good shots. I haven't seen Indian Creek, and now a drive to the basket, and she draws the foul there.
Very good move there by, who is that, Olivia Bryant?
That was Hannah Rasnake.
Hannah Rasnake. Hannah Rasnake able to just twist and turn her way into the paint.
Hannah's a great free throw shooter.
They had 66 free throws per game last season. Really good at getting to the foul line.
No, 66% on the free throws.
Yeah.
No, not 66 free throws a game. No, no problem. Because Hannah hits the first one and she hits the second. So Hannah with a quick 5 points to lead the Lady Cadets. They have a 14-8 lead here in the season opening game. And now a near steal. Yes, they do get a steal there. And now passes down court and a foul on the layup. And once again, I'm sorry to say, Cascade did not change their uniforms like I hoped they would. You can barely see the numbers. But anyway, it looks like Hannah Rasnake will be going to the free throw line. Like I said, all these seniors trying to improve their college recruiting stock. last year's two senior starters, both playing college ball. Makayla Collier at Goshen, Bayleigh Walker at Franklin. Glad to see both young ladies stayed here in state. So Hannah hits the first, misses the second. She has 6 to lead the team. And now a three-pointer on the other end, no good. And so this time Cascade gets the rebound, passes down court, and a drive to the basket is up and good. That was Olivia Bryant. She has 4 now. And it's a 17-8 Cascade lead. And now ball's knocked loose, but now it was into the arms of Sydney Logsden, who banks it in. The first lady, the Lady Brave points other than by Makayla, so 17-10 your score. Now a drive to the basket. She gets the contact, and she goes to the line.
Well, Cascade's offense, they're trying to work their guards inside on the Indian Creek defense, going right at Makayla, maybe trying to get her out of the game a little bit early, get her in some foul trouble.
So that's Logsden's first. Olivia Bryant goes to the free throw line now. Her first one is up and no good. I best remember Olivia for hitting 2 free throws with 4.7 seconds left in that sensational come from behind win at Avon last season, the game in which the closest I've ever come to losing my voice. I still love listening to the playback of that one. She hits the second one, so Olivia with 5 now. So it's an 18-10, a cadet lead. Cascade enters this game ranked number 12 in the state in Class 2A. And now a steal there. Drive to the basket, no good. Cascade gets the rebound, puts it up, no good. And you got another offensive rebound, puts it up, no good. Another offensive rebound. And now we got a foul there. I believe that was Hannah who got hacked there. Or maybe she called a timeout. Let's see.
I believe they do call a timeout there.
But I'll tell you, Kollin, you're not going to make every shot. But when you get 3 offensive rebounds on one possession, that's pure effort. So that's great to see that aggressiveness in the early going by Cascade.
Kind of giving Indian Creek a little bit of their own medicine.
Yeah.
Indian Creek's really been just having a field day with these offensive rebounds down on the other end. But Cascade right there on that possession, 3 offensive rebounds. Keep trying to put them up, draw the foul.
Yeah, and I give Indian Creek a lot of credit in that they have. I don't recall Indian Creek taking a single bad shot in this game. They've taken great shots. They just haven't fallen for the most part, except for mainly the short bank shots there by Makayla.
Yeah, Makayla has really been their main offensive focus right now. And if you're the Cascade defense, shut down on her a little bit, force her to make a bad pass out of the paint and try to get an outside shot. But if you're Indian Creek, I'd say just keep working it inside to Makayla and let her keep going and having a good day.
Now 3-pointer there is good. Carly Gibbs newly into the game with her first points.
Cascade running
and now
court press right here
on the other end, and it says another steal there by the Lady Cadets. I believe that was Gibbs again, and then however there's a traveling call. She just lost her footing when receiving the pass.
Another steal off of that. Cascade playing this full court press, and it's really just made a mess of Indian Creek's passing and been able to pick off a lot of these passes and turn them into transition points.
And Carly Gibbs, by the way, is a sophomore, newly into the game, 5'10", so certainly they're excited. And now Makayla draws a foul in the act of shooting. But yeah, Gibbs played 5 games as a freshman last season, averaged 1.2 points. So it means she scored 6 points, so she already scored half as many points tonight as she did all of last season, so certainly hoping to see a lot more good things for Carly there as Makayla hits the first free throw.
Schmidt checks into the game now.
Yeah.
Schmidt played a little bit on JV earlier before this game.
So Makayla hits both of them, so she's already into double figures less than 7 minutes into the game, and she's single-handedly keeping Indian Creek in it. They trail 21-12. And now Gibbs with another 3. No good this time, too far to the left. Indian Creek gets the rebound. They trail by 9, 45 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Now drive to the basket, and she draws the foul.
Well, Indian Creek's doing the right thing. They're getting inside of the Cascade defense and drawing these fouls, getting to the free throw line.
That was Caitlin Snyder who drew the foul. She stepped into the line. She's a 5'10" junior. First free throw is up and no good after a couple of bounces. 40.6 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Season opening game at Clayton.
If only Indian Creek could hit most of their foul shots, it closed this deficit just a little bit there. She made that one. But,
so now that's Snyder with her first point. So it's 21-13 now. And now on the other end, Gibbs at their right perimeter pitches over to, I believe that's Rasnake. And now drive to the basket. Now it's deflected out of bounds. They said it was off a Cascade player, so Indian Creek will get the ball. 24.7 seconds to go, trailing by 8.
Well, the coach did not like that call. He's looking for a foul right there, but with the way his defense is playing, they should.
And now loose ball, and now it maintained by Indian Creek, and there is a whistle there. Let's see who it's against. It's going to be against Cascade on Taylor Norris. She is a 5'8" sophomore. Played, despite being a freshman, actually played 15 varsity games last year, averaged 2.5 points. So now McElroy with the ball for Indian Creek. She drives to the basket, puts it up, tries to draw the foul. She hits. She doesn't get the foul, but she hits the shot. She has 12 already. McElroy, that is. And now on the other end, 2 seconds left, 1. And I don't think they're going to get a shot. Well, they Gibbs got it off, but no good. It was very rushed. So at the end of one quarter into the new season, your Cascade Lady Cadets off to a fairly good start. They lead the Indian Creek Braves by a score of 21-15. We'll take a short pause for these words from our sponsors. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the Cadets, Hendricks Regional Health. Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall and North Salem State Bank. Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation, CJ's Pizza, and Dunn Insurance Agency. Gold Partner, Endeavor Communications. Silver Partner, Electric Plus. And Bronze Partner, Henke Photography and DMH Photographics. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student-athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton, we're about to start the second quarter with your Cascade Lady Cadets leading the Indian Creek Lady Braves by a score of 21-15 here in the first game of the season for Cascade. You know, Cascade was actually scheduled to open the season Friday at Greencastle, but that game was moved to December 21st because Greencastle ended up having a football playoff game that night. So nice that, that it was moved so that the fans would not have to split, that would not have to make the choice between attending one game or the other. So now, anyway, story of the game so far, very balanced by Cascade with 5 Lady Cadets scoring between 3 and 6 points. On the other side for Indian Creek, it's been the Selena McElroy show. She has 12 of their 15 points. So now Olivia Bryant with the ball, and she traveled. She just, I think she just mistimed the pass. I think she started running before she had a grip on the ball, and it threw her footing off.
Well, Indian Creek, Cascade's just been having a really good time closing down these passing lanes of Indian Creek. They keep running this half-court trap.
But now they left McElroy open, and she puts it up, no good. But, got her own rebound, but then puts it up, and it's blocked. And now Cascade, now on the other end, pass to Gibbs. She puts it up, and it's knocked out of bounds by McElroy to Cascade. I'll tell you, if Indian Creek had a girls' football team, I think McElroy would be a starting defensive end. I mean, she is very, very well built.
Yeah, she takes up a lot of space there in the paint. That's really good for the Indian Creek defense because she's able to grab those rebounds even on the offensive end. She's gotten a lot of offensive rebounds, second chance points.
So now
defensively, she got the block there, and now Indian Creek gets that steal.
So now on the other end, and now fakes the three-pointer inside to McElroy, but it's tipped away, stolen by Cascade. However, a sloppy pass down court, and it is stolen there by Rund, the team's leading scorer on the season, but she's been held scoreless tonight. Now inside to Snyder, and she draws the foul. So Snyder will be going to the free throw line. This is her second trip to the free throw line tonight. 7:04 to go. Your score 21 for Cascade 21, Indian Creek 15. And first one is no good, barely grazed the front of the rim.
Indian Creek's doing a good job of drawing these fouls from the Cascade defense.
I think the crowd was chanting air ball, but it wasn't quite an air ball. It did graze the front of the rim. And the second one is good, so Snyder 2 for 4 from the line on the game.
Slowly closing that deficit. Indian Creek needs to keep getting inside, trying to get to the foul line or getting some good shots from McElroy.
So now on the other end, now a three-pointer, no good. Rebound, and I believe that was Gibbs. She puts it up, and she draws the foul.
Good job there sticking with it by the Cascade offense, getting another offensive rebound. Now Cascade slowly working their way into the offensive rebound category.
I apologize that was Schmidt on the they said Schmidt on the line, excuse me. First one is up, and it is good.
Cascade averaged 9.7 offensive rebounds per game last season, and it's really paying off here in this game too.
So Juliana Schmidt hit her first, and she hit her second both. She switched them both, so already 6 Lady Cadets have scored. Juliana Schmidt, one of 2 freshmen on the varsity roster. She's 5'5". Emma Parsons is the other, by the way. So now we've got, I believe, a timeout by Indian Creek with 6:37 to go here in the second quarter. So, Kollin, we've got the lead, so overall it's a pretty good start. You can tell it's the first game of the season. There's a little bit of rustiness. I think they have been a little unprepared for how aggressively that Indian Creek has attacked the boards. I don't think they're accustomed to dealing with a player quite as physical as Kelroy. But overall, it's been a solid team effort. I say it's probably been about a B performance so far by Cascade.
Well, for Indian Creek, the mismatch is there. McElroy, obviously a lot bigger than the other girls inside, and she's able to get a lot of those good shots. But Cascade's transition offense has been really on fire, picking off these passes from Indian Creek and converting them into transition points. They've gotten a lot of transition points off of steals, and if they keep playing this full court press, they're gonna really have a good day, and it's really shows on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and certainly, the Lady Cadets have shot well. They really they've made a couple of sloppy passes, not many, but the one thing I like is that they've played very aggressively. They're playing with the kind of all-out effort that was put on them by South Putnam last year in the playoffs there, and as the jump shot, no good. And now another offensive rebound, and the put back, no good this time. I believe it's Schmidt who gets it, passes up to Rasnake, and now driving to the basket, and she hits it there. That was Olivia. She has 7 now, a chance to make it 8 with 6:10 to go.
Olivia Bryant has been playing really well through this first half. She's really taking the lead for her team, really moving the ball well across the court. They average 14.7 assists per game, and she's assisted on a lot of these Cascade points. Yeah,
so she's really been responsible for a big chunk of the Cascade offense tonight. I really hope that Olivia ends up playing collegiately. She's and if she continues to put up the numbers the rest of the season like she has so far tonight, I think she will be as she completes the 3-point play. She has 8 now.
Well, definitely, yeah. We talked about Olivia before the game. She only averaged 8.1 points per game as a junior. She had 186 total points last year, but she could really make a statement for herself through the senior campaign.
Yes, absolutely. She already, here in the first half, here in the first 9 minutes of the game, she already has as many points as she averaged a game last season. So now McElroy pitches inside, and it's a foul there as Snyder was, and now Snyder will make her third trip to the line. So let's see who they call this one on.
Snyder going to the line for the third time tonight, shooting 50% from the line.
That's right. First one is good.
Her know about that air ball or near air ball that she had earlier in the game.
So Snyder hits this one though. So she's 3 of 5 on the game, and she hits so she's 4 out of 6. And I'll tell you, I'll hold that thought till we get a dead ball. But Olivia now handling the ball while the lady, and now there's a near steal. No, she does get it. Drives to the basket, lays it up off the glass, no good. But she draws the foul again. So,
Snyder's doing a really good job of getting to the line here early in this game, along with McElroy.
Yeah, made four of her first 6 free throws. Doesn't have a field goal yet, but 4 points on field goals, and she hits this one. Now, all of a sudden, she's has now hit her last 4 free throws, so she's trying to get into a rhythm here.
Closing that deficit here against the Cadets.
So she has 6 now.
That brings it within 6.
So, Indian Creek hanging in there. And so now cross-court pass for a wide-open 3. No good. I believe it was Hostetler with the rebound, pitches out to a three-pointer, no good. And now offensive rebound, she puts it up and she draws the foul.
Near and one play there for the Cadets. Getting to the line again against Indian Creek. They're really doing a good job as well of getting inside and really getting to the free throw line, but they've had a lot of outside looks too that haven't really fallen a whole lot, but they were really high there in the first quarter.
So Emilia Bryant there hits the first free throw. Foul on Snyder, it was her first. Hard to believe as aggressive a player as Snyder is, that was her first foul. But anyway, Emilia now with 5 points, trying to make it 6, and trying to put the Lady Cadets up by 8, and she does. So 28-20 your score, Cascade leading. 5:09 to go here in the second quarter. Season opening game at Clayton. We're coming to you live on audiosportsonline.com. Our second season of bringing you Cascade basketball, both boys and girls. And now we got a steal there by Cascade. And now they got a foul there against Indian Creek.
That was a good play there by the Cascade defense. Like we talked about, trapping the half-court line and really forcing these bad passes and getting a lot of turnovers. And now they're going back to the free throw line because of it.
And now Hannah Rasnake's back to the line. Her first free throw is up, and it is good. Hannah with 7 now.
As long as Cascade can keep getting to the free throw line and also getting these open looks beyond the three-point arc, they should really have a really good day.
Yeah,
Indian
Hannah.
Creek defense.
So Hannah has 8 now, tying Olivia Bryant for the team lead. 30-20 now, 10-point game high 10-point lead, and now another Cascade steal, and Indian Creek gets a steal of their own in a wild turn of events there. Now Snyder with the ball. She finds a wide open jumper, no good there by Lacey Colby, newly into the game. She's a senior. So 4:34 to go here in the second quarter. So now Logston at the line. No good on the front end of a 1-and-1.
There we go. Hostetler came up with a rebound right there.
So now, drive to the basket, puts a short jump shot is good there by Emilia Bryant. So Emilia with 8 now, so 3 players with 8 points each for Cascade now. And a sloppy pass downfield trying to hit Snyder. It goes out of bounds to Cascade. So with a 12-point lead and 4:12 to go here in the second quarter, now Cascade really has a chance to start pulling away and seizing firm control.
Lauren Pendleton checked in for Indian Creek, the near 6-foot sophomore. Really adds some size in there with McElroy. Cascade's been moving the ball well on their offensive possessions. That's why they're getting so many open looks, and a cross-court pass right there for a wide-open 3, and it's good.
She hit it. That was Rasnake. She has 11 to lead the Lady Cadets, and we got a timeout. So now with a 15-point lead with 3:52 to go, your Cascade Lady Cadets overall playing very well. They have a 15-point lead over a solid Class 3A team.
Just when it looked like Indian Creek was coming back, I mean, Cascade really started marching right there.
And
a lot of open three-pointers and inside shots as well from the free throw line.
Yeah, so I really question how long Indian Creek is going to stay in that 2-3 zone, especially if the Lady Cadets see us start hitting with more regularity. So,
you're Indian Creek's first-year coach. Obviously, you want to try and switch up, maybe go to more man-to-man type of defense, try to keep the Cascade players from getting these wide-open looks at the three-point line, but you might give up a little bit of a disadvantage inside the paint with McElroy. Cascade's really stayed away from her. She's been really good inside, and she's really gotten a lot of rebounds and a couple of blocks here early on.
Cascade's done a good job taking her out of, I think, they seem to have made an adjustment. They've done a really good job taking McElroy out of the game here in the second quarter after she was absolutely dominant in the first with 12 points. She has none here in the second.
Yeah, she was just getting way too many good open looks there inside and just a lot of floaters, and she was also getting to the line quite a bit. I mean, it's just, if you're Indian Creek, I mean, you want to keep feeding her, but if Cascade's found the answer, you have to, some of your other players will really have to step up.
So now into McElroy. She puts it up off the glass, and she hits it. So finally McElroy with her first points of the and now a nice behind the back dribble by Olivia. She takes it to the basket. She puts it up, she hits it, and she draws the foul.
Nice
outstanding move.
Layup right there.
Yeah, outstanding move by Olivia Bryant there to answer after Indian Creek ended that scoring drought. So now Olivia into double figures with 10. She's trying to score her 11th here. It is up, and it is no good.
Olivia Bryant really impressive so far. She really has shown that she can take over this Cascade team from those seniors.
Yeah,
graduated since then.
And now shot missed off the rim. And now Hannah comes away with the rebound, pitches down court. 3-pointer, no good. And now rebound. Indian Creek gets the rebound. And now Hannah Griders has, and now it's a steal attempt, and we got a jump ball possession arrow favoring Cascade.
This Cascade defense is really being feisty, getting in after those loose balls. A lot of players diving on the ground trying to get them and forcing a lot of jump balls.
Yeah, they're really, really they've really come out swinging. They have not played a perfect game. They are showing signs that it is their first game of the season, but they are overall playing a very good game, and I think they've been even better in the second quarter than in the first.
Yeah, they have given up a few fouls. I mean, they average like 14.8 fouls per game, but I think they really worked on that in the offseason, trying to limit those. But Snyder and McElroy have really gotten to the line here early in this game, but so is Cascade.
Now 3-pointer by Hannah, no good. And now this time the Indian Creek controls the rebound. Still Cascade playing very aggressive defense. A 3-pointer, though, no good off the front of the rim. And Hannah gets the rebound. With Hannah being 6 feet, I'm really hoping she'll go to the boards more this season, especially with Bayleigh being gone.
Well, it helps out when you have speed at the guards and then size in the big man category. I mean,
and now
a 6-foot player.
And now Emilia drives to the basket, loses control, and it goes out of bounds to Indian Creek with 2:09 to go here in the second quarter. Coming to you live at Clayton here on AudioSportsOnline.com. Like I said, we're going to have probably in the neighborhood. Last year we brought you 28 Cascade basketball games, 15 boys and 13 girls. It's probably going to be about the same this year. We'll be here for every home game and a few of the road and neutral site games. I know we will be bringing you the Hendricks County Tournament again, that wonderful extravaganza, which this year is at Danville. And now on an offensive rebound attempt, we got a foul there. That was Allie Harris who got hit there. She's a 5'10" sophomore. I don't mean hit punched, but I mean just bumped into. Sorry. All right, so Harris goes to the line now. Her first free throw is up and good. The foul, by the way, is on Carly Gibbs, her second, team 10th. So now Indian Creek is in the double bonus.
And Cleveland checks in for Cascade. She's also a big girl, so would be really good to match up with McElroy if she were in the game.
Second one is no good. So
we have a jump ball attempt. We have a jump ball inside off the rebound from Cascade.
Possession arrow favors Indian Creek.
Well, if you're Cascade, nobody's really boxing out on these shot attempts by Indian Creek. That's why they're able to get so many offensive rebounds. But, I mean, it's also really helped out Indian Creek getting these fouls because they can just reach right over and just take the ball right from them. Yeah,
now on the other end of the court, ball goes out of bounds to Indian Creek. 1:41 to go here.
It's intended for Cleveland right there, who had a lane going to the hoop, but she just wasn't able to corral the ball.
Well, barring a collapse, Cascade is going to take a double-figure lead into the locker room, which has got to be a good feeling here in the season-opening game against a solid 3A team. Indian Creek coming in with a record of 0-2. However, both losses, neither loss was bad. They had a 3-point loss to Tri-West and then 17-point loss to a Martinsville team featuring Kiana Traylor. Now a 3-pointer, no good. And Cascade gets the rebound there. I believe that was Sophia Bryant there. And now he gives it over to Hannah, who dribbles. Now turns around. It's behind the back dribble, pitches over to, I believe that's Sophia now. And now drive to the basket, pitches over. Great ball movement there by the Lady Cadets here. And now she tries to feed Hannah, but it gets knocked out of bounds to Cascade. 51.2 seconds to go here in the quarter. 14-point Cascade lead.
Good inside defense there by Indian Creek, limiting the passing lanes that go back door. That you could see the Cascade Cadets wanted to go back door, but they weren't able to find anybody open. I mean, they thought they had somebody, but one of the Indian Creek players able to swat away the pass. A good inbound play there by the Cadets.
Now a near steal there. And a turnaround jump shot, no good. And a fight for the rebound. Indian Creek comes away with it. Player nearly loses the ball. Now she pulls up for a three, and it is no good there.
But an offensive rebound there by Indian Creek, who puts it back up and in. Number 21 for Indian Creek, Lauren Pendleton.
Yeah, Pendleton there. That's her first.
And they get another steal and an easy layup. So now they cut the deficit down just a little bit with 18 seconds left to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was Heather Maddox with her first. So 4 bench players have actually scored for Indian Creek, and all of a sudden it leads down to 10 points. 5 seconds to go. Hook shot, and she draws the foul.
4.4 seconds left to go. Good, really good call there. Getting to the foul line, maybe get some extra points before you go into the locker room.
Yeah, so it'd be nice if Hannah hits these. The foul on Harris, by the way, her first. But if Hannah hits these, put the lead back up by to 12. She misses the first after a couple of bounces. But certainly, you hate to end the half with a semi-collapse like that. So Emma Parsons, the other freshman on this varsity team, entering the game now. She's 5'6". Hannah hits the second one. She has a team-high 12.
3 seconds left.
Half-court shot, no good. Grazed the net. Well, after the first half of the season, your Cascade Lady Cadets not off to a great start, but off to a good start. They lead the visiting Indian Creek Braves by a score of 38-27 here on audiosportsonline.com. We'll be back with a recap and a look ahead to the second half after these words from our sponsors. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the Cadets, Hendricks Regional Health. Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall and North Salem State Bank. Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, and Dunn Insurance Agency. Gold Partner, Endeavor Communications. Silver Partner, Electric Plus. Bronze Partner, Hankey Photography and DMH Photographics. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton, we're at halftime of the first game of the season. Your Cascade Lady Cadets off to a pretty good start. They lead the visiting Indian Creek Lady Braves by a score of 38-12. Cascade led 21-15 at the end of one quarter, and now, like I said, the margin is 38-27. So the Lady Braves, they actually expanded the margin of lead from 6 to 11 from the first quarter to the second. So at least there wasn't too much of a letdown except for the 4 quick points that we gave up at the end of the half. But anyway, a look at the individual scoring. First of all, for your Cascade Lady Cadets, Hannah Rasnake leads the way with 12 points. Olivia Bryant has 10. Emilia Bryant has 8. Carly Gibbs has 3. Sophia Bryant has 3. And Juliana Schmidt has 2. Meanwhile, for the Indian Creek Lady Braves, Selena McElroy has 14 points, although 12 of them came in the first quarter. Then it goes way down from there. Caitlin Snyder has 6. Lauren Pendleton has 2. Heather Maddox has 2. Sydney Logsden has 2. And Allie Harris has 1. So, Kollin, I would give overall Cascade a B grade for their first half performance. You know, it is their first game of the year. They've overall shot well. They've played good defense. The big flaw, they didn't box out enough in the first quarter, and they got burned as McElroy went crazy with the 12 points. They had 2 or 3 sloppy passes in there, although not really that much for the first game of the season. But other than that, I like the competitiveness, the aggressiveness. You can tell they came out trying to slay the demon of that South Putnam game. And overall, there's far more to like than not to like so far.
Well, you're definitely right, and you said it all. I mean, their defense has really been the big story. They've been really feisty, getting after the loose balls that go on the floor, and also getting inside and trying to double team every ball that comes across the half court. I mean, Indian Creek, they really haven't had a lot of open passing lanes to go to, and Cascade has really been able to take advantage of that and turn it into transition points. I mean, that's why they have such a big lead. They've been able to get to the foul line. They've been getting outside shots, and they've also been getting easy layups on the inside from transition. The Indian Creek defense just not able to get back fast enough, and the speed of the guards has been really the big issue for Indian Creek. You talked about Olivia Bryant. She's already surpassed her season average from a year ago. She's really been able to get a lot of assists off those transition points and also get to the foul line a couple times herself. Emilia Bryant, she's also, I believe, surpassed her season average last season. She's been a really big factor as well. But for Indian Creek, the bright spot would be their inside play. They've had a really good offense produced from McElroy on the inside. Getting a lot of offensive rebounds has been a big key also. They've been able to just feast on the offensive boards and miss shots and get a lot of second chance points. And they looked like they were going to close the deficit there early in the second quarter, but then eventually Cascade just went on a huge run and really expanded the lead. And it just seems like every time Indian Creek tries to get closer and closer, Cascade just keeps pulling away whenever they need to. And I dedicate that to the speed of their guards and their ability to get to the foul line.
Yeah, I think Cascade has a significant speed advantage, and certainly McElroy, as dominant as she is on the inside, if we can make her run up and down the court a lot in the second half, we can wear her down. And then not only that, but, if we can continue to deny her the ball as we did successfully in the second quarter. Like I said, she got 12 points in the first quarter, only 2 in the second. Then, that will really even more sharply reduce Indian Creek's chance to come back and win.
I'm really impressed with how Cascade has been able to adjust so quickly. Like you talked about, McElroy having 12 points in the first quarter and then only having 2 in the second. That really shows that this Cascade team is really quick learners and able to get into new sets and able to shut down key players from the other team and just make them look for other options to score at, which Indian Creek, other than Snyder getting to the free throw line, hasn't really been able to score a whole lot of points. Yeah. The only times they've really been able to score is off second chance points from offensive rebounds that they gather on the Cascade end.
And by the way, it should be noted that Addie Rund, who's Indian Creek's leading scorer on the season, 16.5 over the first 2 games, scoreless tonight in the first half. So
that's not really good if you're Indian Creek, because you need her to produce. If you're willing to stay in this game, you can't just keep looking for Snyder to get to the free throw line. She's been playing very physical, but she can only take so much. And obviously Indian Creek wanting to get some of their star players going. And we talked about, Addie Rund being their leading scorer, having no points. That's just not good. And if I was a coach, I'd be addressing that problem really quick.
And one thing is that even as good as Rund is at 5'4", she really is at a size disadvantage. When you look at, because Cascade does have a lot of size, and that's something that is for a 5'4" player. Unless you're just super, super, super quick, it's. I mean, if you're 5'4" with average speed and you're a great shooter, but you're up against a good defensive team that has the kind of size that Cascade has, they can really contain you.
Well, yeah, I mean, Cascade's guards, they've been really able to shut down the passing game.
Yeah.
Like we talked about, they've had a lot of steals off of just really bad passes that they forced from their trap game.
And you look at the size of, Rasnake is the way she plays. She effectively plays as a guard. She's 6 feet, so she has an 8-inch height advantage, for example, over Rund.
Cascade, and not just on the offensive end are they getting it done. really getting it done defensively, like we talked about, getting those steals. But offensively, they're able to get some offensive rebounds on their own. Even with McElroy in the game, they've been able to use their height advantage with, the 6-foot players with Hannah Rasnake and Trinity Hostetler able to get in there and just grab these offensive boards and give their team second chance points. And they've had a lot of and-one plays off of that.
And I'll tell you one thing that's really curious to me, Kollin. Cascade just came back onto the court. There's there were a little over 2 minutes left on the halftime clock when Cascade came back. Indian Creek came back 3.5 minutes earlier than that. I believe that's the earliest I've ever seen a team come back from halftime in a varsity game. So I'm surprised that their coach apparently didn't have a whole lot to say to them.
I mean, if I was a coach, I'd be keeping them in the locker room pretty close to the final seconds, because I feel like there's a lot of things to address if you're Indian Creek. You got to look for more scoring options. You got to really keep Cascade from getting these offensive rebounds. You got to limit their transition points. You have to do a whole lot. You got
to figure out a way to get
a lot to talk about.
Yeah, you got to figure out a way to get Addie Run going. Like I said, scoreless, 16.5 points a game through the first 2 games, 0 so far tonight.
Yeah, if she's going to go off, she has to go off in the second half, because her team just can't keep relying on McElroy to keep them in this game. She needs to start producing and also looking for other options to produce.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing that I was glad to see that Cascade opened the regular season at number 10, but this week I saw the new polls came out. Without playing a game, they dropped 2 notches to number 12. So I guess in the eyes of the pollsters, it really hurt them that the Greencastle game got postponed last Friday. Maybe had we gotten a win, we might have moved up a couple of notches. But
maybe they can get that spot back if they win this game tonight, which it looks like they might.
Well, if we win this game, and then if we beat Covenant Christian, the 9th-ranked team, on Saturday, then I think we will move up several notches.
Yeah, they really should not take this Cascade team for granted, because they look like a really good team so far. Even if it's just the first game, they really show a lot of promise and a lot of ability. Even though they're a young team, they're really able to learn quick. They're able to play hard. They're playing physical.
Yeah.
They're not playing like some rookie team. They're playing like a veteran basketball team.
Yeah, and Coach David Carpenter said in an interview with the Flyer last year in response to the South Putnam game, he said that basically we got pushed and we never pushed back. Well, Cascade came out pushing tonight, and if that's what he told the media, you can only imagine what he told the girls. So I'm sure they remember that quite well.
Yeah, because Cascade just came out, and like you said, they really gave them a shove. I wouldn't call that such a little push. I'd call it more like a shove. They've really come out and just smacked Indian Creek in the mouth. And they just keep doing it through these quarters. And, you can really tell just in their ability to play.
And now I'll tell you, I'm glad in this half we have Cascade down at our end of the court, because we can see the numbers a whole lot better. And for most teams, it's not a big deal, but for Cascade it is, because their numbers are so hard to see.
Yeah, numbers kind of match up with blend in a little bit with the uniform, so it makes it a little hard to see. But you can definitely tell who is who just by their play. We obviously know that the speed of the guards is there with Olivia Bryant and their inside player Hostetler getting those offensive rebounds. Right there, Indian Creek, they're looking a little confused as to what to do. Not a whole lot of movement on that inbound play.
And now a three-pointer by McElroy, no good. And now
a rebound right there in an and one play.
Yep, that's right. Who was that?
Like number 22 for Katie Berkman.
Yeah, Berkman.
Junior, 5'11". She's 6 foot.
She started, so it's interesting. In the first half of the 6 players for Indian Creek who scored, 4 are actually the reserves.
And it looks like to try and slow down some speed, they're going to set McElroy back.
So Berkman completes the 3-point play, cutting it to 8. So Indian Creek still in striking distance here in the third quarter.
And it looks like they've gone to that. They keep going back to that zone defense. It looks like actually they've switched up to a man-to-man, and it looks to be working just a little bit. But Cascade's still moving the ball well.
And now a nice aggressive drive to the basket by Olivia, and she draws the foul.
Good move there by Olivia, getting to the line.
But I'll tell you one thing that I meant to say during the halftime break. One of the 3 returning starters each scored more points in the first half than she averaged a game last season. That's very encouraging.
That's a very good sign, especially if you're the Cascade
head
coach.
Because one thing I wondered, how much could Olivia, Hannah, and Emilia step up their games in the absence of Bayleigh and Makayla? So far, very well, as Olivia hits the first, and let's see if she hits the second. Yes, she does. So she has 12 to lead the team with Hannah.
Well, obviously, I mean, once you lose 2 players like
Walker
Makayla,
and Collier.
Yeah. Makayla Collier and Bayleigh Walker. Both of them.
And now another steal, and she's wide open for the layup. She got it.
Nice underhand layup there.
So Olivia with 4 quick points to start off the half, and Cascade goes up by 12. Now McElroy left open at the other end. She hits it. They're going to need probably a very big half from her if they're going to have a chance to come back. She has a game-high 16 now. Sorry, go ahead with what you're saying.
I was going to talk about how, it's never easy losing 2 star players, but that really shows who is able to step up and who is not. And I believe that these sisters, the Bryant sisters, are able and willing to lead this team. And
as well as Hannah,
tonight.
Yeah, as well as Hannah Rasnake.
Yeah, Hannah Rasnake has really stepped up her game as well.
Now Olivia drives to the basket again, no good, but and now it goes out of bounds.
And it looks like this is going to stay with Cascade.
Yeah, I couldn't see the official. I guess the official was way down the baseline. We have a partially obstructed view. From our vantage point, we can't see part of the extreme end of the court.
Good inside.
So now Trinity Hostetler with her first points. That's good to see, because I knew she could step up with the rebounding and place of Bayleigh. I wasn't sure about the scoring, so it's good to see her get her first points of the game here. And now on the other end, a foul.
2 offensive rebounds given up right there.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've just so now. Olivia Bryant, the foul, that's only her first, though. So now Heather Maddox, she goes to their line. She had 2 points in the first half. So Heather's first free throw is up, and it is good. So Indian Creek still hanging in there, 5:43 to go here in the third quarter at Clayton, season opening game. Cascade's first game of the season overall. Indian Creek enters with a record of 0-2. And no good on the second free throw. So it's an 11-point lead, 44-33 Cascade. But yeah, Trinity Hostetler, like I said, the best thing I remember about her last season, there was a game against Cardinal Ritter that went into overtime in which Bayleigh Walker missed about half the game with foul trouble. Trinity came in, having barely played all season. She played about half the game, scored 6 points, and was a strong presence inside and helped Cascade stay in it. They ended up losing by 2 in overtime on a last-second shot. But I was really hoping that she would be able to really step up and, contribute a lot this year. We'll see. Hopefully she will. There, Allie Harris laying it in with her first field goal. She had a free throw in the first half. Cuts the lead back to single digits. And now we've got a whistle here. But, yeah, Hostetler, good size at 6 feet. If she could, give us, say, 8 rebounds a game like Walker did, and even, say, 5 or 6 points a game, I think with the rest of the offense that we have from the Bryants and Hannah, I think Trinity can be a very effective player.
Yeah, I mean, this Cascade team looking really solid right now. They're getting a lot of ball movement right now on offense, and I mean you can just tell that they have really good team chemistry with the way they're just moving. The ball is constantly flowing. And, I mean,
yeah,
they're able to get inside right here a little bit and obviously dump it off to a wide-open shot, but no good. Almost an offensive rebound right there.
And overall, I'd give Cascade a B for this performance so far, but their ball movement would get an easy A. I mean, that's been outstanding. And, of course, heck, you got 3 girls who grew up together, They should know each other pretty well by now.
Oh, yeah.
And then, obviously,
this whole team, I mean, they look really close, and they're on the same page, like, constantly. And right there, wow.
And remember, there are only 2 elementary schools here in the Mill Creek school system. So, I mean, these girls, it's not like, like my high school, there were 8 elementary schools that fed into the high school.
Right.
So these girls have known each other basically, since about 3rd grade at least, if not before. And, done, their, youth basketball. Cascade has an outstanding youth basketball program. So.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they just keep getting open off these. They're trying to run what seems like a pick and roll, but they're getting a lot of screens, and they're really getting inside, moving the ball well, and right there.
Yeah, Hannah drives to the basket, draws the foul.
Good foul right there. Getting to the line again for Cascade. I think that's the second time they've gotten to the line this second half.
I believe so. Yeah, Olivia had the
2 free throws that she made earlier.
And now, tell you, I've never met any of these girls personally. I would like to someday, but I feel like I know them so well. I'm in the habit of calling them by their first name, which is especially helpful since there are 3 Bryants.
Oh yeah.
So Hannah hits them
can't
both.
Just say Bryant, not know, what you're talking about.
So Hannah with 14 now. She and Olivia tied for the team lead.
And now if you're Indian Creek, you're going to want to try and break this full court trap. They're really trying to get into the middle, and right there they do.
Nice drive to the basket
good
there.
Layup, but no good.
Yeah.
Now they got another offensive rebound, try to go back up with it, and it just rolls off the rim. But then they get another offensive rebound, which leads to a foul.
And that's been the weakest point of their game tonight. And, I always mention the 12 offensive rebounds that South Putnam got. I think I haven't been keeping track of offensive rebounds, but I think Indian Creek is ahead of 12 already.
Oh, yeah, easily. They've been getting to the foul line a lot.
So
if they could just capitalize and make every single foul shot, they would be very well in this game.
Yeah, Berkman hit it. She has, and now she hits the second one too, so she has 4.
Indian Creek not really showing a whole lot of pressure, not like they were, but now they're trying to maybe push it up just a little bit. But Cascade's just easily able to get across the half-court line and get into their offensive set.
Indeed, yes. Yep.
Once again, the ball movement, you can see it now inside, and a good layup right there, but no good. Close to an offensive rebound, but they let it go, and it stays with Cascade.
So 3:54 to go, a little over 2.5 quarters into this season-opening game at Clayton, coming at you live here on AudioSportsOnline.com. I'm Lec Zorn, joined by Kollin Brunes, making his debut with us on AudioSportsOnline.com. And now drive to the basket, no good. Rebound there.
Too hard on that drive.
Yeah,
but it was still got the rebound. Shot.
And now left-handed hook shot, no good. Fight for the rebound, and
jump ball is called.
Yeah, possession arrow favors Indian Creek. They trail by 9. 3:41 to go here in the third quarter.
Boy, if you were to give a grade for boxing out, I'd give Cascade an F on this one. They just allowed so many offensive rebounds, and it's just led to so many jump balls and extra possessions for Indian Creek that they just don't need.
So now another hook shot. This one is good there. That was Pendleton there with her. She has 4 now.
I mean, like we said, just the offensive rebounds.
And now it is a nice steal attempt there. Knocked out of bounds, though. There's a great effort there by Heather Maddox. She's a 5'8 junior for the Lady Braves.
And Cascade has played well in other areas of the game, but turnovers and obviously offensive rebounding has just been a really big problem for them. Giving up offensive rebounds, I should say. Their offensive rebounding.
And nice move to the basket. That was Hannah, so she has 16 now to lead all Lady Cadets. And then now a nice steal attempt there, knocked out of bounds there by Hannah. But, yeah, Hannah has 16, which is the high for Cascade, and it ties McElroy for the team lead, although McElroy only 4 points since the first quarter. Well, I'll tell you, one of those male fans, and now a three-pointer there. Wow, she swished that. That was, I think, an NBA 3. That was Berkman, so Berkman suddenly putting a lot of offense on the floor, and it's suddenly the lead's down to 6, so Indian Creek still very much in this game.
Well, now let's see if Cascade can go on a run here, because like we talked about, every time Indian Creek seems to be getting close, Cascade just takes off.
Yeah, the lead has been as high as 15. And now a long 3, and she swishes it. Olivia Bryant with a game high. Olivia with the game high 17 now, pushing the lead back up to 9. Boy, did they ever need that. And now a steal there. And now it's drive to the basket. Should be an easy layup. She got it. So 5 quick points by Olivia Bryant. She has a game-high 19. The lead goes back up to 11. Very aggressive defense now. And now it's passed over there to Heather Maddox, and we got a whistle here with 2:12 to go. So now Cascade all of a sudden looking much more comfortable. The game.
You can definitely see the momentum shifting right there just in those last few possessions. I mean, Olivia Bryant going hard to the basket. And off of that three-pointer, too, I mean, you could tell she was really feeling it. And she's on fire tonight.
Indeed she is, yeah, having an outstanding.
Right there, almost got another
And now
steal.
a 3. And another. So was that Berkman again? No, Pendleton, excuse me. Pendleton with the 3. No, she has 7 now. So the lead back into single digits now. So Trinity Hostetler's had a very quiet game. She hands it off now to Carly Gibbs. And now a nice behind the back dribble there by Hannah. Pitches it over for a wide open 3, and she hits it. That was Olivia again. Olivia with 22 now.
Olivia Bryant is really making a good debut right here. Really showing that she can take over this team.
Yeah, so now a
We have a foul
aggressive move to the
right
basket,
there.
and Caitlin Snyder gets back to she got to the line on 4 separate occasions there in the first half. Now her first time there in the second half, coming with 1:34 to go, and her team trailing by 11, which was the margin at the half. Her first free throw is good.
Entering the Cadets lineup, Norris. Entering the Braves lineup, Harris.
Well, I'll tell you, the fans kept chanting air ball, but the truth is Snyder's actually 7 of 9 at the line tonight, including hitting her last 6.
Yeah, ever since that air ball, she just hasn't looked back. I mean, we didn't think it was an air ball because, I mean, it
wasn't. It was close to it, but,
Yeah, but ever since then, she's just been on fire with her free throws.
No, she's
really been able to capitalize off it. Yeah, having those 2 misses, but she hasn't really let it affect her.
So Indian Creek hanging tough. Now drive to the basket. A 3-pointer from the corner, however, no good. Struggle for the rebound.
And right there you see Indian Creek trying to box out on that, and it led to a good rebound at what looked like an offensive rebound and a near steal attempt there. Now Indian Creek will reset for a 3.
No good, and easy rebound there by the Lady Cadets. And now we got a whistle here. And Cascade
like timeout for Cascade.
Yeah, the Lady Cadets taking a timeout with an even minute to go here in the third quarter. So Cascade, with 9 minutes to go in this game, has a 9-point lead over Indian Creek, 56-47 here in the first game of the season for your Lady Cadets. We're really excited about bringing you another season of Cascade basketball, both boys and girls. The first boys broadcast will be 2 weeks from tomorrow on Thanksgiving Eve. So that should be a real barn burner. That's going to be out at Tri-West, one of a few road games that we're going to be bringing you this year. And our next, actually Cascade opens the season with 3 consecutive home games. The next one will be on Saturday afternoon at 1:30 against Covenant Christian. The Lady Warriors, the number 9 ranked team here in Class 2A, 3 notches ahead of Cascade. And then a week from tonight against Decatur Central, a Class 4A team. Then we go on for literally a month-long road trip. We will be bringing you the road games in the meantime at Danville and at Tri-West. But there will be, after a week from tonight, there will be no home games for exactly 31 days until December 15th when we return for a boys-girls doubleheader. Well, there will be no more girls' home games for 31 days.
And honestly, that should be really good for if you're Cascade, because then you get used to the hostile environment and you're able to play in those conditions. It'll really test your mental toughness, and it should be a really good challenge for the Cadets.
Indeed, yes. So now Cascade with the ball again. Nice spin move there, and she lays it in there. That was Hannah Rasnake, who has 18 points now.
What a silky smooth layup right there from Rasnake. Just able to twist and turn her body and just get the easy layup.
Boy, she and Olivia are both playing as if they believe there are college scouts here tonight. And now, nice underhanded layup there. Good by Berkman, who has 9. Second on the second for the Lady Braves, who cut it to single digits again. They're still in this game. 16 seconds to go. Cascade likely to hold for the last shot here in the third quarter. Drive to the basket, loses control, so Indian Creek gets it 7 seconds to go. And now
right there.
Layup, no good. However, the putback is good there. And that was Snyder there. So at the end of 3 quarters of play here at Clayton, your Cascade Cadets in good shape, but they haven't clinched it yet. They lead the Indian Creek Lady Braves by a score of 58-51 here on audiosportsonline.com.
No, honestly, this lead seems bigger. I mean, with the way that the Cadets are playing, you'd think that they were up by maybe 20 or 30, but really only up by, 7 points. I mean, they're still really putting it, though, to Indian Creek. There's seems like that the deficit is larger than what it is.
Well, every time Cascade has made a run, Indian Creek fired back. They did manage to trim. They did manage to trim 4 points off the lead there in that quarter. It was 11 at the half. Now it's down to 7. So Indian Creek actually scored 24 points there in that quarter, which is the most that any team has scored in a quarter tonight.
I think they started to get the 3-point ball to fall.
Yeah, but
that's
what
really helped out.
But
they also get inside.
I think what made it easy to not realize that how much they were hanging in there is that there was never like a barrage where they had three three-pointers in a minute or anything, where they had 3 successful 3-pointers inside a minute. It was just very gradual.
Oh yeah, and now right there, a bad pass on the inbound, but they recover.
So I think Coach Carpenter. If I were Coach Carpenter, and now it dropped to the basket by Olivia, she draws the foul.
Well, she was going hard to that basket. You can tell she really wanted that and one play, but she'll have to settle for these free throws. She's been really knocking down her free throws tonight. I mean, already surpassed. She averaged 8 points per game as a junior. Was she up in the 20s now?
Yeah, she has 22. Yeah, game high.
She was just really impressed tonight again in front of her home crowd.
Yeah, in front of her home crowd and maybe a few college scouts as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're a college scout and you're looking for a well-rounded player to just lead your team with good passing and great scoring, I mean, Olivia Bryant is the way to go. So
she missed the first, made the second. She has a game high 23. It's an 8-point Cascade lead. Now drive to the basket and she hits it. That was Addie Rund. Finally, in the fourth quarter, the team's leading scorer gets her first points.
That's just disappointing if you're Addie Rund. You averaged 16.5 points per game last season. You barely even get 2 tonight. And I mean,
and Kollin, look at that guy to our left, about 20 feet left of us. He's taking notes. Maybe he's a scout. You never know.
Oh, maybe. I mean, he's probably really impressed with what he's seen tonight from Olivia Bryant and maybe her sister as well. Emilia Bryant coming back in. She averaged 6 points per game and also 7.7 rebounds per game. But she's really
now they got a player wide open there, but she missed an easy shot. However, they got their offensive rebound, and now a putback up is good by Berkman. So she has 11 now, and the lead's down to 4. So Cascade better get some offense here. They better strike back. Still 7-11 to go here in this game. Olivia now, and they got her for a double dribble. Shoot.
Well, Olivia Bryant does not need to fall apart right now. She has really come up big for her team throughout the game. She does not need to disappear in this fourth quarter.
That's just about the only mistake I've seen Olivia make tonight.
Yeah, I mean, she's been really mistake-free, but right now is not the time to start making those mistakes and settle down. You really have to start turning it on for your team, and it looks like Cascade.
Oh, no, they left her open. There's a defensive somebody blew an assignment there. Snyder with the layup, cutting the lead to 2, and Cascade takes a much-needed timeout.
Well, now the momentum has shifted. I mean, Indian Creek able to get those inside shots, and now I think they're starting to realize the magnitude of what they're doing and them closing the gap on the Cadets. And the Cadets, I mean, it looks like they're getting really nervous. I mean, they're starting to be the ones that are getting smacked in the mouth here in this fourth quarter.
Well, I'll tell you, for Cascade to lead the entire game and to lose it, that would be devastating emotionally, especially, this is, like I said, this is their search for redemption from that first round playoff loss to South Putnam last year, that devastating loss, a team they beat by 22 in the regular season, turning around, manhandling them, and getting the win here at Cascade.
Also, it'd be disappointing to see Olivia Bryant have such a great performance but not come up with a win. I mean, she's
she's
really showed that she can take over this team. But if they don't get the win, I mean, she'll really feel a lot of that weight on her shoulder. She'll probably feel like she could have done more. And I mean, I don't really know any much more she could have done. She's really been the main focal point for her team.
Oh, now it's another steal there. That was a steal there by Pendleton. And now Indian Creek will tie with the 2, take the lead with the 3.
And now
the steal, though, by Cascade. Boy, did we need that. Let's just, wait for it. Let's get a good shot here.
Well,
don't force anything.
The inside girl for Cascade realized that she left her person wide open, and she was able to get back and just put a hand on that ball for the steal.
So now,
and a
three-pointer from the corner.
And it's
yes!
good.
Yes! That was Schmidt. She had only had 2 before that play, and now Cascade pushes the lead up to 5. So outstanding their play by Juliana Schmidt, the 5'5" freshman. Well, this night has mostly belonged to our seniors, but a freshman really, gave us a much-needed boost there.
Yeah, she did. It came up clutch with that shot right there, putting them up by 5. I mean, even though there is 6 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter, the game just feels like it's way too close to call. I mean, it's going to be down to the final second.
And now a 3-point there by no good. Let's get the rebound. Yes. And now we got a foul there. And that was, I'll tell you, Addie Rund there. You can tell she's like really trying to take the game over. She missed the 3 and then aggressively went for the steal on the rebound, but she committed the foul in the process. And now it looks like Hannah's going to the line.
We know that Addie Rund is a solid player, and she definitely will produce this season. But tonight she just hasn't really showed up for her
She
team.
hit it. So Hannah hits the first.
So extend the lead to 6.
Now if she hits this, it'll be back to a 3-possession lead. She hit it. Good.
Now Indian Creek, a little bit of urgency starting to take over, trying to get over the half court and avoid the Cascade trap. And there they go. They're trying to work it inside right now.
And now a drive to the basket. And she hits it. And she has a chance at a 3-point play. That was Snyder again.
Very clutch play there from Snyder. She's been able to get to the line consistently, and she does it right here in the fourth quarter.
Indeed.
Now she can just hit the free throw, and she does.
She has 15 now, second on the team, 1 behind McElroy.
I believe she might pass McElroy if she can keep getting to the free throw line. McElroy hasn't really come back in the game a whole lot. But
3-pointer, but it's partially blocked, and it's rebounded there. And now
Snyder pushing it up. Now inside, and an easy layup attempt, but it is.
I think she got fouled. It was on Sophia.
Sophia Bryant.
That's only her first. 64-40. Pendleton can make it a 1-possession game. She has 7.
There's a very unlucky play there by Sophia.
She missed it. She missed it. 5:30 to go in the game. 64-60. Cascade leading a very tense game. Cascade's led by as much as 15. And she missed them both. Big break.
But offensive rebound there from Schneider.
And now a 3-pointer. And she hit it. It's a 1-point game.
Clutch offensive rebound there from Snyder and able to kick it out for the 3 wide open. The Cascade defense just nowhere to be seen on that 3-point attempt.
So suddenly a 6 in a row by Cascade. Now Olivia takes it herself. No good. Indian Creek gets the rebound, and there's a foul. That was a foolish foul there.
And this Cascade crowd is erupting right now.
Yeah, she just
meltdown right here in the fourth quarter.
That was on Emilia Bryant. It was a silly foul. She just got a little too aggressive going for the steal there. Olivia is trying to take the game into her own hands, understandably, but now Greider going to the line. She's a starter, but she started.
5'3" guard.
She started tonight. She hasn't scored. She missed that one, but another offensive rebound.
And a 3-point attempt, but it's blocked.
And it goes out of bounds to Indian Creek. 5:07 to go.
5:07 left to go here in the fourth quarter. I mean, Indian Creek is really holding on here, getting clutch offensive rebounds on these free throw attempts, and are already another 3-point attempt, and it is good.
Oh,
wow!
The Lady Braves go up. So Berkman with 17 now to lead the Lady Braves. So it's a 2-point Indian Creek lead. Now let's see how Cascade responds.
you have to be really impressed with Indian Creek staying in this game, even when it looked like they were being beaten down. Now Olivia Bryant going in, and she is fouled.
It's Rasnake. It's Rasnake.
Rasnake?
Yeah.
That is Rasnake.
Yeah.
Sorry. Unable to tell because of the numbers blending in right there. Well, Rasnake does have a lot of speed, like Olivia Bryant, so it's easily, but there is some height difference there. But
she missed the first into the 1-and-1. So, and now Indian Creek with the lead and the ball.
4:36 left to go in the fourth quarter. It is really crunch time on defense now for Cascade.
They got to get a stop here.
And now a wide open inside floater.
Yeah, that did not come off her hand well. So now Cascade with the ball. Let's see if they can advantage now. I'm not sure what she was trying to do there.
Nobody behind her, and she just throws it away.
And now a layup, no good. Let's get the rebound here. Another offensive rebound, and now the ball comes loose, and we've got a whistle here.
Boy, a lot of bad fouls here late in the fourth quarter. It's just not really going. This quarter has not gone Cascade's way. I mean, it's gone their way throughout the game. Just this fourth quarter is really just a big meltdown.
It's a 15-6 margin in the quarter by Indian Creek. So now Pendleton on the free throw, she hits it. It's a 3-point lead.
Wow.
4:06 to go.
And if you're Cascade, I mean, the way to get back in this game is just keep the ball movement alive. Look for those open three-point attempts or those inside.
Good. So it's still a one-possession game.
Trying to move it up the court as quick as I can.
And now Olivia drives to the basket, puts it up, and she hits it.
Good layup right there, silky smooth.
Cuts the lead to 1.
That's what they need.
And now a layup on the other end, no good. Cascade comes with the rebound, and she gives it to Olivia, wide open. Here. She gets it, and we're up in the lead again. Olivia with 27. We have a 1-point lead, 3:40 to go. Now there was a defensive lapse there, but block shot
right there.
Now we got the lead in the ball, and it's knocked out of bounds to Cascade. 3:30 to go. Now, if I were Coach Carpenter, I'd get a timeout here and just settle down. We got the lead in the ball.
Boy, that was a really clutch block there on the other end. I mean, it looked like Indian Creek was going to get an easy layup from Schneider, but one of the cadets able to come in and just swat the ball away, and it turns into a Cascade possession.
So now Olivia has the ball. McElroy is back in the game for Indian Creek for what I believe is the first time here in the fourth quarter. They probably wanted to save her for the end since this is, there's so much running into this game. They're trying to save her energy. So now drive to the basket, and she's fouled.
Boy, good way to draw the foul right there. You really needed that one if you're Cascade.
We got to
get somebody to the free throw line, kind of slow down the tempo a little bit.
It's on Pendleton. So the free throw is up and good. She swished it.
These free throws are going to have to be clutch right here if you want to keep this lead in this game. I mean, you can't really. And then also being able to get back and play defense and not allow anything inside.
So she missed the second. So that was, by the way, that was Emilia Bryant. She has 9 now.
Attempt right there, and it is good.
So that's a three-pointer is good there by Addie Rund. She has all 5. She's the team's leading scorer on the season, but has only 5 points tonight, all in the fourth quarter. Indian Creek goes back up by 1 with 3:02 to go.
This is not a good time for Abby Rund to be scoring if you're a Cascade fan. She's now starting to turn it on. She hit that 3 right there, and she's been able to come alive and score just a little bit here in the second half.
So Indian Creek now with a 1-point lead, 3:02 to go in the game. Indian Creek has taken a timeout. So anyway, looking at the Cascade huddle, we're just about 30 feet or so away from it. It looks calm but tense. This would be
trying to inspire his players.
And I know this is only the first game of the season, but coming off that South Putnam loss, even against a higher class team, it would be devastating to lose your home. It would be devastating to lose your season opening game here at home when you led by 15. even to a Class 3A team.
Especially when Olivia Bryant has gone off for 27 points. I mean, she's had a really impressive performance, nearly 30. When she only averaged 8 points per game last season, she's already set a game-high record.
Yeah, I mean, it's so now, I mean, the thing is, offensive rebounding, has been the biggest reason for this. I mean, there have been a few bad passes, not a lot. Not an alarming number for a season-opening game, but now Cascade, they will go up with any field goal. They just got to be smart here.
Well, it's like Indian Creek kind of playing conservative defense.
Three-pointer, no good. Air ball, and it goes out of bounds to Cascade.
Lucky right there.
Yes, they were. That was
14. Hannah Rasnake nearly got a hand on that ball as it went out of bounds, but the referee.
It was not a good shot at all.
No, was not. And that's not what you're looking for if you're Cascade. I mean, you want to take your time, move the ball around. I mean, there's still 2:48 left to go in the game. You can still get some good ball movement going. So now, you don't have to settle for a bad shot yet.
No. Now a three-pointer.
Right,
she hit it, and we're up by 2. Olivia Bryant has 30 now, and it's a 2-point Cascade lead. And now a short bank shot, no good. We got the rebound. Now let's get the lead. Let's add to the lead here. Drives to the basket, no good. And now Indian Creek gets the ball, and now pitches down to McElroy. She puts it up, and we're tied. McElroy with 18 right now.
There. Good block right there on that last possession to set up the transition points for Indian Creek to tie up the game.
Now we're tied. There's no shot clock. Let's work around for a good shot. Don't do anything senseless.
If I was Cascade, I'd just try to run the clock out here as much as I could and then get a last-second bucket if they can on the inside. Or I'd try to look for Olivia Bryant to get open because she has had the hot hand here in the fourth quarter.
Yes, indeed she has. And now it's near steal. .130, and now a long three, wow. No good. And now it's struggle for the loose ball, but we got the rebound.
Good rebound right there. Clutch offensive rebound. Much needed for the Cadets.
1:27 to go. So I'd be fine with holding it for the last shot. And now it's knocked out of bounds to Cascade. 1:21 to go.
And now they're trying to get the inbound, but nearly ran out of time right there.
So Olivia has it, 1:18 to go. Game tied. 72-72. And now a bad pass, and it's stolen there by McElroy, so Indian Creek has the ball. Any score will put them ahead.
And now if you're Cascade trying to lock down on defense, cannot give up anything easy on the inside. Indian Creek trying to run that pick and roll with McElroy.
Under a minute to go now. Drive to the basket. No good. Cascade the rebound. So now
pass.
Now drive to the basket by Hannah. She puts it up. No good. But we got the rebound. We got the rebound. Oh, bad pass. Terrible pass.
Nobody right there. No, the other cross-court pass.
I'm not sure.
Wasn't expecting the pass.
Yeah.
And it just sailed out of bounds. 45 seconds.
Yeah, Hannah went after it, Hannah went after it with a great effort, but it was just through too far to the left. 41 seconds to go and counting there. Rund handling the ball for Indian Creek. Now coming off a pick as she puts up a jump shot, and she hits it.
Wow.
So it's 30 seconds left. Cascade down by 2. Olivia now puts it up. No good. However, rebound. Put it back up, and she draws the foul. So we're going for the 21.7 seconds to go. We got to hit them both. Foul on Pendleton. Juliana Schmidt, a freshman.
This is a big moment for the freshman. If she can hit these free throws, bring her team back to tie this game.
She hit a three-pointer early. Let's see if she... first one, no good off the back of the rim.
And if you're Cascade, immediately you probably have to foul. Cannot let Indian Creek just run out the rest of the time, and Schneider will come back in.
Boy.
Timeout for Cascade. Talk it over.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you, losing to Indian Creek in and of itself, I mean, they're a very good 3A program, 3 sectionals in the last 7 years, 3 sectional championships in the last 7 years. But to lose by 15, to have a 15-point lead, and lose on your home court,
on opening night.
Yeah, when you're coming off the kind of,
meltdown that you had against
South Putnam.
Yeah.
Like I said,
it'd be devastating.
These girls have lived with that loss for 277 days now, and this is not the way you want to respond to that. They've done a lot of good things offensively, but they've just had too many, Indian Creek has absolutely dominated the offensive boards, and I would like to see the comparison of the number of shot attempts by each team. I bet Indian Creek is...
Well, McElroy has been the story for Indian Creek, and so is Snyder. Both of them just grabbing offensive rebound after offensive rebound and just continuously putting their team in good position, especially at the foul line.
So now Schmidt trying to cut the lead to 1. She hits it. She has 6 now. So now Cascade, if they don't get a quick steal, they got a foul. And now throwing down to McElroy. They got a foul quickly. 15 seconds left, and now the ball's knocked out of bounds to Indian Creek with 13.1. If they don't get a steal, if they don't get a steal on this inbound inbounds pass, they've just got a foul immediately.
And if you do get the steal, try not to rush anything. Obviously, you don't want to lose control of the ball.
Now, what are they waiting for? Finally, they foul with 9.9 seconds to go. They wasted about 2 seconds there. So the foul is on
Hannah Grider to the line, sophomore guard, 5'3". She had a free throw attempt earlier, I believe, but she didn't make it.
Yeah, she's the only starter for either team who has not scored. She missed it. So that's good. Now, regardless of what happens here, Cascade will have a chance to either tie or take the lead, depending on...
We'll have to really box out here for Cascade.
She missed them both.
Second, and now it's time to push it up the court. And
Kollin! And they got a foul immediately. No, and now we got a steal. A steal attempt, and we got a foul with 4 seconds. So that was just a very bad pass there on the outlet pass, trying to hit the open cadet, but it was just I think the girl who threw the pass, I didn't catch who it was, didn't see that, she was so anxious to make the pass, she didn't see who was in front of her.
Well, she had a wide open Bryant going up the side of the court right there, but wasn't able to find her.
So Rund scoreless the first 3 quarters, now 8 in the fourth quarter, puts the Lady Braves up by 2 with 4 seconds to go.
Immediately call a timeout after this.
No good. And now we got a.
There's a timeout.
Okay. She missed the second one regardless. So here's the status. 4 seconds left in the game. Cascade has to take the ball the length of the court, trailing by 2. They've led by up to 15. They've played, for the most part, very well offensively, but but Indian Creek has totally dominated the offensive boards, and that is the main reason why they have come all the way back. And they've also found a lot of weapons. The first quarter they went to almost exclusively to McElroy. Then Cascade has largely managed to contain her the rest of the way, but other players have stepped up. Snyder now has 15, Berkman 17, Pendleton 8, Rund 8. So it's just been a great all-around effort by the Lady Braves. And now Cascade needs to pull out some last-second heroics here.
Definitely look for a clutch three-pointer or a three-point play just to keep them in this game and maybe force overtime.
So.
And now we'll see if here they can get the inbound properly and push it up with 4 seconds on the clock. Nobody
so
really
a bad pass. And and now there's a.
And it goes out of bounds to Indian Creek.
With 2 seconds left. I'll tell you, the Cascade has had several bad passes here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just really decimated them offensively. And right there, able to get the ball in. And that's the final buzzer right there.
Well, your Cascade Lady Cadets have a very concerning opening night loss to the Indian Creek Lady Braves by a score of 75-73. This does not sink the season, but certainly not the way you want to start it either. We'll be back with a recap and a look ahead to Saturday's game after these final words from our sponsors here on audiosportsonline.com. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the cadets, Hendricks Regional Health, Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall, and North Salem State Bank, Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, and Dunn Insurance Agency, Gold Partner, Endeavor Communications, Silver Partner, Electric Plus, Bronze Partner, Hankey Photography, and DMH Photographics. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student-athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton for a final time tonight, where your Cascade Lady Cadets have lost in very painful fashion in the opening game of the season, 75-73 to the Indian Creek Lady Braves, a game in which Cascade led the entire way until about midway through the fourth quarter, when the teams had several lead changes before Cascade collapsed with several bad plays, bad clock management, 3 very bad passes, and simply, got destroyed on the offensive glass, offsetting what offensively was overall a very good game. At the end of the first quarter, Cascade led 21-15. At the half, 38-27. At the end of 3 quarters, 58-51, and the final again is 75-73. So the second half margin, Indian Creek actually scored 48 points here in the second half compared to 35 for Cascade. So from our peak lead of 15 points, it was a 17-point turnaround the rest of the way. And let's look at the individual statistics. First of all, for the Cascade Lady Cadets, Olivia Bryant led the way with 30, Hannah Rasnake with 20, Emilia Bryant with 9, Juliana Schmidt with 6, Carly Gibbs with 3, Sophia Bryant with 3, and Trinity Hostetler with 2. Meanwhile, for the Indian Creek Lady Braves, Selena McElroy had 18, Katie Berkman had 17, Lindsay Snyder had 15, Addie Rund had 8, Lauren Pendleton had 8, Allie Harris had 3, Heather Maddox had 3, and Sydney Logston had 2. So, in conclusion, Kollin, at the half I said this game was a B performance by Cascade, and unfortunately the second half performance really drops it. And I'll end up giving them a C+ overall for the game. I mean, there are areas in which they will be, given. There are areas in which they would get a D for this game, but there are areas in which they would get an A as well. And they really, it really was a mixed bag. I mean, offensively, there's no doubt now that the 3 returning starters can pick up the scoring load that was left by Makayla, Collier, and Bayleigh Walker, who combined for 29 points a game last year, each averaging around 14, 15 points a game. We've seen that, Olivia Bryant with 30, she averaged 8 last year. Hannah Rasnake with 20, she averaged 10 last year. And then Emilia Bryant scored 9 after averaging 6 last year. That's no problem. I would like to see more offense from Trinity Hostetler, even if she could get at least 6 games. The main thing I want to see from Hostetler is a lot of rebounding. If she could get the 8 rebounds that Walker got a game last year, that would be great. But the main concern right now, and it wasn't so much bad defense. There were some defensive lapses. There were times when someone lost her assignment. But overall, the main problem tonight, terrible boxing out. I mean, that's one area where I would give maybe a D if I were feeling generous. You can make a case. You could even give and F in that area, because there was, Indian Creek, and I will be checking the stats on this. Indian Creek must have gotten 20 offensive rebounds, if not more, tonight, and probably 15, 20 more field goal attempts at least, and that certainly was a big difference. And really sad, wasting outstanding offensive performances by both Olivia, especially Olivia, and then to a lesser extent Hannah.
Well, I mean, yeah, the guards played very well. The team played very well from an offensive standpoint, but definitely the offensive rebounding of Indian Creek was just so overwhelming. I mean, they have some really dominant big men in McElroy and also Schneider, who was able to get to the foul line multiple times consistently and just keep making free throws. I mean, she only missed, 2 free throws tonight, I believe?
Yeah, that's right. She missed 2 of her first 3, and then she hit them all the rest of the way.
Yeah, she just stuck with it. I do have to applaud Indian Creek for staying in the game when it just looked like they were just getting beat down in every category. But their offensive rebounding really put them back in the game, kept them in the game throughout all 4 quarters. And we joked around about how little time they spent in the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, they came out when they
were warming up. I mean, we joked about how, there was a lot to talk about if you were Indian Creek, and I mean, I can see now why that conversation was short, because I mean, everybody understood, I guess, what to do, and they really got after it, and were just able to come away with that good win after just keeping with it and getting a lot of steals off those inbound passes, a lot of turnovers, also a lot of offensive rebounds on free throws, and just able to keep possessions going and alive. I mean, keeping possessions alive for Indian Creek is really what led them to this win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if they'd gotten even 4 or 5 fewer offensive rebounds, Cascade would have pulled out this one. And, I'm trying to take a balanced approach here. This is the first game of the season. You have 20-some games to tune up for the playoffs. So this is not the end of the world, but at the same time, when you've had 277 days to think about the way you got manhandled and massacred by South Putnam, and this is how you respond, that is very, very concerning, very discouraging. And, I certainly would not want to be in that Cascade locker room right now.
Even though it is discouraging, and that you were not able to slay that demon of that loss to South Putnam, there was still promise in this season.
There is, yes.
Especially with, the scoring ability from your guards. And you have now seniors that are able to take over this team, and they're going to have to step up even more as leaders if they're going to lead these young squad of players. Like we talked about, 7 seniors on this team.
Yeah.
But you look at the other classes. I mean, 2 juniors, 2 freshmen, and 2 sophomores.
Yeah.
I mean, the odds kind of stack up against you when you have a young team around you, but the odds are also in your favor when you have a group of seniors that are experienced and are able to just come in, and after you've had 2 seniors that dominated last year, and now you're able to come in and say, this is my team, we are going to stick together, and hopefully they do stick together. Otherwise, because they looked like they had really good team chemistry out there.
Yeah.
They moved the ball well. They were able to get good open shots, and they knew where everyone was. Just, the bad passes and turnovers. Like we said, it's the first game of the season. There's still some rust in there.
Yes.
But eventually it's going to be a well-oiled machine.
Well, I certainly would not want to be a Lady Cadet in the locker room right now or in practice the next 3 days. Coach Carpenter, entering his 3rd year, he was 33-15 over the first 2 years. Certainly is going to work the girls hard and, hammer really hard on what they need to work on. And, I'm trying very hard to take a glass-half-full approach because there were a lot of good things tonight, especially on offense. The ball handling was very good until it really collapsed. And it really collapsed very badly. I don't know if it was fatigue or nervousness or whatever, but the ball handling really went way down late in the game, and that was another factor in sealing their loss as well.
Yeah, it did. it's really hurtful when you've been playing well all game, and then the fourth quarter you have a meltdown. But you can't let that stuff affect you going in the long run, because if you let that haunt you, I mean, eventually it's going to happen every fourth quarter, and you never know. You're just never going to outlive those fourth quarter troubles if you just keep thinking about them and what you could have done. You know, you got to start thinking about what you can do to help your team win early on. And, I mean, obviously it looked like Cascade had it going early on.
They did, yeah.
They came out hot. They basically slapped Indian Creek in the mouth, but eventually they just kind of let off the gas pedal just a little bit.
Well, they just, their offense was pretty consistent throughout the game, but like I said, the ball handling collapsed. And then I think another thing that happened in the second, I think Cascade really, after the second quarter, when they, when Cascade, in the second quarter, when they, had really taken McElroy out of the game, and I think they really thought they had it won then. But then in the second half, Indian Creek started, throwing in all those other weapons, and McElroy and Berkman, started to hit. And then in the last quarter, runs started to hit, and Indian Creek really had too many weapons for Cascade to shut down. And they just never figured out how to make any adjustments and stop what ended up being, it's ironic that, in the first half, I mean, for about the first quarter and a half, it was just a one-woman show for Indian Creek with McElroy, and then they had a whole barrage of offensive stars in the second half.
Well, I mean, we did talk about how they needed to start looking for other options of scoring.
Yes.
And, I mean,
why did they find it?
Eventually they did, yeah. Eventually they really came around to it and got it and kept their possessions alive. But, I mean, like we said, long season, there's still plenty of time to tune up and get everything figured out before the playoffs start. And don't panic yet.
No, don't panic, no.
Say.
Well, I'll tell you, though, I've been watching, I'm 46 years old now. I've been watching sports since 1978, and I've seen how a devastating earlier, I mean, if this game had been neck and neck the whole way and we lost by 2, I don't think it would be psychologically devastating, but it is psychologically devastating to lose a 15-point lead.
Honestly, if you're a Cascade, you need to take that as a motivation to
you do.
Keep preserving your leads.
And
that's always going to be there in the back of your head. Just, well, what if they come back?
Yeah.
You have to just keep, pouring it on teams.
Yeah.
Because you never know, like, what lead is safe. I mean, we've seen even recently in pro sports, leads are never safe. I mean, you have to keep really pounding and playing the way you started with.
Yeah.
With, keeping a lead.
And what this reminds me of, and I know you weren't at this game, Kollin, but in the next to last regular season game last year when Cascade played at Avon, I commentated the game alone. I almost lost my voice. Cascade went down in the second quarter by Avon. They went down in the second quarter at Avon by 20, came back to win by 3. And what I said in the postgame is that really one thing that's, while Cascade was awesome in their comeback, it helps that Avon stopped doing what got them that 20-point lead.
Exactly.
Tonight, I think Cascade stopped doing what got them the lead.
And, yeah, it's always hard to keep that consistency up, but you know what? They can figure it out. It's something that's not broken. It can be fixed.
And the thing is, even though it was their first game since that South Putnam loss, I will say this is a different team. There are going to be growing pains without Bayleigh and Makayla. This is the first time that this is the first time they've played with this starting lineup with Trinity and Sophia in there. So let's, give them a few games to get adjusted to that lineup and try to fix what went wrong tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say about that. I mean, we just look on for the next game, and we know that there's going to be a lot of promise coming up in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, you should be excited if you're a Cascade fan. Obviously you've had players come out and score 30, 20, and 9, and, really surpass their last year's average, which shows that your team is growing, and you should be really excited about that.
It does, and like I said, and this is going back to trying to take the glass half full approach. Like I said at the halftime, in the first half, the 3 returning starters each scored more points in the second. Each of the 3 returning starters, Olivia Bryant, Sophia Bryant, and Hannah Rasnake, each scored more points in the first half than they averaged per game last year.
Yeah.
So they can carry the scoring load. They just have to. They have to
close out the fourth quarter.
They have to finish strong. They have to They have to learn to box out, control, not let the other team get the offensive rebounds, and they have to crank up the defensive intensity.
Practice is going to be fun. You can tell the coach is going to be throwing the ball off the glass and having a lot of box-out drills, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it will, but that's the kind of thing that makes you better, and we still have about 20 games to get ready for the sectional and try to, tonight was a road bump in the search for redemption, but it wasn't a dead end, and, we just have to move past this roadblock, and,
redemption shouldn't just be about one game.
It's not. It's about the season. It is, so.
And it'll be okay.
It's a setback, but, hopefully we'll come back. And, we start to come back in 4 days with our next game right here, 1:30 p.m. on Saturday. Hope you all will get out here as we play a marquee opponent, the Covenant Christian Warriors. Last year, they had a very exciting game on the west side of Indianapolis, close to my home, just a couple of miles to my west. And I could almost have walked to the game. But anyway, Cascade pulled out a 57-56 win, and Covenant Christian is a major power. They've won 7 sectionals in the last 10 years. They lost the Class 2A state championship game 2 years ago, lost in the semi-state last season. They returned 3 starters from that team, all of whom averaged double figures: Bayleigh, Everett, Makayla, Clearly, and Jordan McGuire. How appropriate, we're playing a team who has 2 starters named Bayleigh and Makayla. But anyway, like I said, Cascade won at Covenant Christian last year, 57-56, Prior to that, Covenant Christian had won 9 of the last 11 of the series. So anyway, we will be here bringing you that one pregame show, 1:15 p.m. On Saturday, where hopefully we will get on track with our first win of the season and keep building from there as we move toward hopefully getting a sectional championship.
Yeah, growing pains, but all growing pains can be alleviated.
Yes, they can, and certainly a win over Covenant Christian, a top 10 team, would be a good start for that.
Yep, you're right.
So, Kollin, in your debut here on audiosportsonline.com, any closing thoughts?
Just have short-term memory this upcoming weeks. That's all you gotta do, really.
I think the main thing is
on the box out.
Yeah, the main thing is to compartmentalize, to be aware that these things happen that you need to correct, but at the same time, not to dwell on it and get so bogged down by negative thinking.
Just move on to the next day of practice, and everything will be all right. Get everything taken care of, do your job, and everything should work out. And
just make sure you don't make these. The main thing, it's one thing to make mistakes. The main thing is not to repeat them.
Yes.
Well, this concludes our broadcast. As always, thank you so much for listening, and I cordially invite you to do so again on Saturday afternoon at 1:15 p.m. here on audiosportsonline.com as your Cascade Lady Cadets, ranked number 12 in the state in Class 2A, return to action against the 9th-ranked Covenant Christian Lady Warriors. Until we meet again, for Kollin Brunes, this is Lec Zorn saying goodnight, and remember, there is a difference only you can make.